Hello and welcome back to another of the streams of the Elements 2014 World Championship. We are in the group stage, and since the last time we've seen a match, Root Ranger has withdrawn from the group, meaning there are only 3 players in this group. A couple of players did withdraw from the competition in this round. This means that with my 2 wins over Blacksmith, if I perform well against Regyptic, I will probably advance to the next round. Today we are going to be playing my A match against Regyptic, right here, and I'm going to be leading this match with my mono Shrieker Quake. Just having a couple of last second chat. So in game 1, I'll be using this Earth Mono. It's a deck you've probably seen before if you've seen me play. I do like this deck. Not only do I think it's one of the most efficient ways to use a 4 upgrade deck, I also believe that it gets a match off to a very good tempo start. Regyptic might see this, however, as a tell. Because I used it in several matches in the previous round, and also because Jen noted that I like to play hard aggro in the post-match notes of our match. I like to play hard aggro game 1s. This is a not quite as hard aggro as it could be deck. It's got 6 Earthquakes and 4 Basilisk Bloods, but it's still, broadly speaking, fairly hard aggro. So we'll see how this goes. So I believe it's the same chat name, but I will check. This is just confirming that we have this correctly. He appears not to be searching yet. I'll give him a second to get into the search. If I win today's match and get no worse than 2 wins in my other match against Regyptic, I believe that's what it would take to absolutely clinch advancing. However, there's a lot of ways I have a decent chance to advance depending on the way this match plays. As long as I get several game wins, I'm not in terrible shape. A little bit of background about my opponent. Regyptic was a Darkness player, and Darkness Mark was a Darkness player in the last trials, and we're into the match. I do like that 4 Quanta start. Means that I can very likely Quake and or BB and or do something early. 4 quanta is a very good start. If he plays 3 or more pillars, I'm quaking. No 3 stacks. That's fine. I'm just going to play the first Graboid. Unless he has 2 devs in hand, and they both take time, I'm in good shape here. This appears to be a mono dark against my mono earth. Oh, dang. Oh, that's okay. That is, in fact, okay. As long as I get the first Shrieker up. He'll still have some quanta, though. More quanta than I would have liked. But it's probably okay. I can BB some Vamps, BB a Dragon. I can BB any real threats that come. It's unlikely he'll have enough devs to stop my BBs, because I'm getting 5 worth a turn. There's a Vamp Dagger. Okay, that will slowly turn the match in his favor, but not quickly. And if I can get anything good, my deck, my time quanta is going to be a pinch. Yeah. My time quanta is going to be a real problem. Okay. So it's going to be a real problem, because I'm unlikely to get to play any more of my Shriekers at full value, and I'm going to have to play them as just 2s. Oh, and there's the Drain Life, and there's the Dragon. I've basically lost this individual game right now. Like, I've got a 1 in 8 chance of getting this Graboid ever unburied. He can slowly take me away with that dagger. There's no good way to do this. Yeah. Alright, well, be dropping game 1 then. Interesting mono dark, but yeah, those drain lives are going to be a problem. I can at least keep that slow. Again, it takes 1 in 8 for all 3 devs to miss the time. That means that my chances of getting one of these out are pretty low. And his chances of getting another dragon are pretty high. If I'd played some sort of mixed damage, I might have done better, but... Oh, and there's the Dusk Mantle. That effectively ends the game. And that dragon comes unglued in 3. Yeah, I'm about 5 turns from actually losing, but I don't have a win con anymore. Okay. So, Regyptic takes game 1 of this match. I lose an Earth, he loses a Darkness. Yeah. There's no viable stall out of this. Alright. On to game 2. Game 2 play is... I believe my scoreboard is wrong. I will double check this. Oh no, that's right. Oh, I didn't actually want to play that there. I was actually going off of the wrong game plan. It's okay, but that was not the correct game plan. Alright. We'll make necessary adjustments later then. So, easiest way to make the adjustment. I actually wanted to play a Disquake in that match instead. Easiest adjustment's actually going to be to play a Tempest. Probably. Let me see. Where's a Tempest? Here's a Tempest. I'll play a Tempest and give it 8 ups. I was originally supposed to play a Mono NT Rush here. So this is a Tempest, and then... Do you want to give it any ups in entropy? Nah, actually let's stick to water. Let me do that again. I might have made a mistake. Okay. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is my Tempest. Yeah. I'm just gonna have to play Tempest on this. Alright, so this is not how this match was supposed to go, but it appears to be okay. Let me confirm my deck again. Yeah, it is entropy marked. Make sure I got the right version to save to my used decks list. Yeah. Not that the Disquake would have done me any better in that than the Shrieker Quake. I'd intended to use the Disquake against Regi and the Shrieker Quake against Root. But that's okay. Alright. So, looking ahead at the game plan for this match, the problem was that I didn't want to use up one of my monos early in this match because later in the match. Triggerquake's actually a pretty fine Game 1 deck. But yeah. That will be okay. Looking ahead, you'll see Adrena staves for round 3. And then round 4 is where we start making the individual time of game decisions. But yeah. So I was originally trying to save a mono water and a mono ether for this match. I don't believe I had water in either of the original root matches. Or rather did not have water and ether in the same match against root. Which is why using mono earth was a good idea. Alright. Worth noting about the draft of this match is that life is generally considered a relatively weak element, but it had been given to neither player through the first 6 elements. So I deliberately left it up for the last one, which gave me the chance to secure the life for my Adrena staves without having to get anything else that I specifically wanted. But it did still leave him with some strong options, as you can probably tell from looking at his list. I'm expecting a Firestall at some point in this match. Probably relatively early. Firestall's a stronger early deck than late deck in escalating ups, but that might just be a reason for him to use it late. This deck, of course, is hoping for a creature-based deck, because it generally means that I can screw around with his Quanta first, freeze things. Okay, he's ready now, so I can go ahead and start. So he's bringing darkness back out again. And this is a very good start for me. Don't like that I'm going second in this game, but it's a very good start for me. I have Permafrost, which is a 1-of and one of the most important cards in my deck, and I have 3 entry points for this. It's Devtil. Oh my god, it's Devtil. Okay. Alright. So this is going to be his free game. He's using his free Devtil, which seems like a relatively weak use of the free game, but I can understand it at least. But what this means is that he's going to get discorded. He's going to get discorded very, very hard. And there's not much he can do about it. Yeah. I'm not sure if I want to play the permafrost or not. I could be wary of steel. Steel could be a real problem for this. Also, I want to save water quanta right now because nymphs. Permafrost should go out eventually, but probably not unless he fractals vampires. Unless he's in danger of actually being able to fractal. It'll take a while for him to build up to actually being able to fractal. This is very unfortunate for me in that I've not gotten any of my 5 nymph tiers yet. I'm 10 cards in and none of my 5 nymph tiers. But there's like close to 1 in 3. The low quanta start for Reggie in this game is not promising. There goes his first dev. Yeah. I have enough quanta that even if he does get going, it's not the end of the world. He's going to get going soon-ish. But he'll be 20 life behind and a lot of quanta behind. He basically needs to fractal vamps and be able to steal my perma. Which in turn means that I need to be able to get the nymphs going. There we go. Get the nymphs going. This is really frustrating now. 1 in 3 cards left in this deck. Okay. Oh, he'll be able to fractal this turn. Which will start making his life a little bit more happy. He actually doesn't really want the Discord, interestingly. The Discord is going to make it much harder for him to steal my relevant quanta. Okay, but now he'll be able to start getting darkness. Which is really important for his game plan here. He needs to get darkness. And he now has that opportunity. Well, the one thing I will be able to do when I finally get a nymph tiers, there's 5 nymph tiers left in this deck, and I haven't seen any of them in the first half of the deck. Finally, nymph tiers. That's the correct nymph. And then I can nymph the entropy one to make his vampire sad. Or I can just keep nymphing water. Yeah, I'll nymph water this turn, and then beautiful. Now he can fractal the vampires this turn, and I have the opportunity to antimatter his vampire. Did not play the way I wanted it to, but it's okay. Chance to start. And the next turn I can add some extra damage. As needed, probably from that. Worst case scenario right now is he like eclipses or something, but don't think that works even for him. Yeah. So this will be 1-1 with a very unconventional The Tempest. Yeah. Alright. I believe that was his free game because he doesn't have ether. Alright. So now that I've made up for my initial mistake there, and yeah, he used his free game. We'll see whether I need to upgrade anything to play this deck. I don't believe so. It's supposed to be 31, is that correct? 31, okay. So this is the new mod of my Adrenistaves. This is basically taken from the War Adrenistaves that Team Air ran several times, that I ran on Team Air several times. However, this uses unstable gas instead of deflagration, largely on the grounds that well, deflagration would force me to use an extra element, fire, which is disadvantageous in World Championship rules. On the other hand, the unstable gas is itself an air card, is still powered by the fire quant I'm getting from the elite queens. I like the elite fireflies in this deck because there's no point in using light in an Adrenistaves deck anyway. And fireflies give me OTK potential, which is one of the things that Adrenistaves sometimes lacks. Looking ahead in the match, I most likely Game 4 deck right now is my SOP Wardens, but I might not. That's my tentative is to play SOP Wardens. I will research that just to make sure that there's not any difficulties. And we are just about ready. If I run into his fire stall here, this is very bad. If I don't run into his fire stall here, we're pretty happy. I could actually see a siphonary coming here. Yeah, siphonary would be an interesting choice. I'm okay if he plays Mono Death. Don't think he would, but if he does, I'm probably okay. So I can probably heal through it. Let's see, what other things am I worried about in here? Bone Bolt with fire. Yeah, basically if it's not a Deathfire Bone Bolt, I probably have the advantage in this game, I think. Like some sort of Scarab based deck. Alright. Yeah, Scarabs would be a little bit of a problem here. Scarabs can quickly go past Adrenaline, or past 7, which is the staffs. Yeah, we're still not getting a result here. Yeah. Not that long ago also, I made a post in the official forum discussing the basically tiering of oh no, okay. Which we both agreed was a legitimate tier A deck. This appears to be a Deathlight stall. That's interesting. Something like Plague is also very bad for this deck, is why I'm oh-knowing so much. Arsenic, Deadly Poison. So the question is whether he has the Skull Shields and the Plagues to deal with this deck. I'm going to try to take this kind of slowly, just in case of Plagues. Yeah. On the next turn I can actually go ahead and play the second staff, because there's no permanent control in either of his two elements in this deck. But, yeah. He's also very low on light, which makes me think there might be some sort of sank element. But yeah. Additional air pen and another staff. So I can heal 25 per turn and hit for 10 per turn under current conditions, which is pretty okay. The problem being that if he ever draws Plague, I am in very, very bad shape. Play Skull Shield. Could have... Bonewall doesn't scare me at all. Bonewall I Adrenaline right through. I have more combo pieces in my hand, which is always a good thing, even if I'm not going to play them right now. Because the ability to go to 16 instantaneously on a given turn, or even 24, is fantastic. If I draw like Flying Weapon on the next 2 turns, I have just so much instantaneous damage potential. There's the Bone Wall, we knew that was coming. The thing is that given the cards that I do have, i.e. Adrenaline-oriented, Bonewall is not likely to be all that effective. He's also not playing for deck out. If you'll notice, he only had a 30-card deck, which means that he doesn't see deck out as a realistic win condition of this deck. I can start making flies, too. So this is a P-Dials duo. This is a P-Dials duo, with Bonewall to eat up turns. The only question is whether he decided to put Plague in it or not. If he puts Plague, we might have some problems, but we'll start putting some flies in there. He's played like 4 Deadly Poisons, something like that. The thing about P-Dials is that it's really, really, really hard to actually OTK somebody with P-Dials. And the other thing about P-Dials is that staff still heals. And he's just now getting to the amount of damage it takes for me to not heal up to full every turn. Yeah, I like this match state. He finds another one. He's just going to deck himself out this way, though. That's the thing right now, is that he's just decking himself out. Like, there's... no room for, say, Eternity in this deck. So that's... That's just to make it more obnoxious if he has, like, Sosak or something. I did kind of reveal that I'm lacking in FWs right now, but that means that he can't play Sosak without more components. And that should end the game, I believe. Yep. That ends the game. So now I'll take a 2-1 lead in the match using Air and Life. So now we're moving to 16, and I do think that this is the right time to play SOP Wardens. Yeah, this is the right time to play SOP Wardens. This is a... Uh-oh. This is a problem. We'll have to deck.im that and see what the problem is with my deck. Just a moment. Button. There are 3 dry spells, whereas this mod has 4 dry spells. Alright, so I do need to buy a dry spell. Deck. Alright. So here's where the tricky part comes, is what I want to do for game 5. Game 5 was... Actually, game 5 would just be a great time to mono ether if I win this. If I win this game, game 5 gives me a good chance to mono ether. He's taking a second to finalize his decision here, and that's perfectly reasonable. That was basically... he described that as a hard counter. I'm not sure it was a hard counter, but it was definitely a pretty strong counter. It probably was a hard counter if he didn't pack the counter cards, actually. There were some cards in there I was really worried about, but they didn't happen, so that's that. No. SOP Wardens. SOP Wardens was originally assigned to the 5 slot for this match, but I'm pulling it forward to the 4. So a little bit about process. What I find to be useful in matches where the number of upgrades is not the same from game to game is first to look at the rules and figure out what sort of archetypes you want to use. So in this case I made my list, I said Disquake, Anti-Rush, Adrenistaves, SOP Wardens, and so on. First make those, and then, based on how effectively they use upgrades, rank them across the games. However, you should feel free to pull things back or forward 1 to 2 games on the basis that you don't want to get stuck saving your best decks for games 6 and 7 and lose in the first 4 games. Which would obviously be a very bad thing. Okay. That doesn't sound good, but we'll see what happens. Haven't had any luck yet. I'm gonna just try. Just gonna tell him that I'm researching here. There we go. Alright, something earthy on his end. What could he be using an earth mark for? Let's play the game. What does Regyptic want to power with earth quanta? Time, nothing. Gravity, nothing. Fire. Lava golems. It's a lava golem deck. Okay. So... Yep. It's a light fire immo deck. Alright. I could get my earth back. Gotta do it. This is an Emo Phoenix, and he's playing it into SOP Wardens. That's gonna be interesting. It will depend on how fast I get Wardens. It will very heavily depend on how fast I get Wardens. Annihilation deflag. Okay. Shard of Patience. Now, if I can guard his destroyer, I'm maybe okay. Oh, that's not good. Actually, that's okay. Sorry, that is okay. That's really... yeah. This is going to be okay. It's not a guarantee, but this looks like it's going to be okay. I need my gnomes to come through, also. He doesn't have the fire to rebirth that phoenix, either. Oh, he does. Okay. Oh, shoot. No. No, no, no. Oh, my God. That was absolutely wrong. That was something I couldn't afford to do. That was just a straight-up mistake. I couldn't play Gnome Rider there. I had to block. Oh. That's infuriating. Okay. I need a dry spell. You can get 11 damage, and then I have to block you after that. Yeah. If you draw another damage card, you win. Okay. If you draw another full Phoenix, you win. Oh shoot, I missed that part too. Okay. I can't even take those out because they are the wrong kind. Alright. Yeah, I forgot that wardens can't kill flying. So this is bad. If I kill that lava golem 13 damage sooner, I have a chance. If I kill the ash, I have a chance. Playing the gnome rider was a terrible mistake. A really, really, really embarrassing mistake. But I can petrify the big one. Block that with the little one. Okay. I win in about 3 turns if he doesn't draw anything big. Amazingly. Nine, 12, and 10 is just about enough. The earthquake doesn't do it, but the little one guards. Drop an extra warden. Then I have 2 more turns of him not drawing the cards he needs to win. My permafrost shield would save me also. In the absence of deflag. Oh my god, okay. Well, try a spell. Just that. Guard kills that. Another guard does that. And now he has 1 turn to win the game. He has literally 1 draw to win the game. Because let's see. 12 and 10 is 22. And 9 is 31 and 4 and 1. No, I'm 1 damage short. Oh my god, I'm 1 damage short. Oh, he got it anyway. Fire and light for him. Alright. We're on to game 5. Can't let it weigh you down. Game 5, Mono Ether, 31 card Mono Ether. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna run my Ether. I've got 3 games, and I'm just hit him with each 3 games in a row. Probably. I can stack him up if I want. Alright. Very position. Can just run Mono Ether, Mono Ether. Games 5 and 6. I'll probably use my free game in game 6, no matter who wins game 5. Try to close out the match. Or force a game 7. He hasn't used gravity at all yet. He only has 1 mono left. He's used his free game. That was an absolutely brutal misplay on my part. I was thinking about up to gnome riders, and I just didn't think about the fact that I needed the Earth Quanta for my guard that turn. Wow. That's a really painful mistake. So yeah, Regyptic, my current opponent, was very successful in the sacrifice event. He was in the Darkness Trials. I don't remember what path he took to qualify for the championship tournament. But he's a reasonably successful player. He's been around since the old forum before this one. And just generally a very successful player. He actually came through the semi-open qualifier. Semi-open, and the players had to have played in events previously, but didn't necessarily have to have any measure of success in them, just had to have played in them. That's right, he was in the group with Blacksmith, DM, and Treebeard. And he went 2-1 in the group, losing 3 games to 1 to Blacksmith. I'll cancel the search and search now that he's searching. So this is a Monoether. And here comes Light. And it's his Firestall. Monoether should beat Firestall, I think. He's playing his Firestall. Ha ha ha. I can just, like, toss one Recluse out. Except I really want Scions. No, maybe I do want Recluses. I'll just toss a Recluse out and see what happens. If he can't kill a T1 Recluse, that's good. If he can, oh well. I just wait till I get to 13. Yeah. This Firestall I expected to show up at some point in the match. I'm actually surprised it's showing up this late in the match. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Fire Shield. That means every spider is good for 14. He gets to heal. I get 5 per turn. Means the spiders can start attacking, but won't. Necessarily stack up high enough, but it doesn't hurt. I'm up to 6 per turn. I'm gonna try and make him burn as much of his CC as I can. Because a deck like this has limited CC. Yep. And this next turn, I get to Fractal again. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's probably got a Miracle by now, though, or 2 Sanks. The idea here being that if I get up to Quanta next turn, I can play a Recluse, then Fractal. Mm-hmm. Or I can just not do that. I'm going to play carefully against Firestorm. And try to scion my way to victory. I've used 2 fractals. There are... how many fractals in this deck? 4. I believe that's 4. Yeah, 4 fractals in this deck, so I still have 2 more. 3 scions is pretty okay. I need more than 3 scions to win this. Alright. I'll go down to... oh, dang. Okay. That's very, very okay. We can deal 32 damage this turn, but he's up to 60. And gaining 16 every turn. Third fractal and something else. I actually need to spend a... I need to spend that. Dials are a problem. An interesting problem, but a problem. Dials also mean that he won't have access to time after use of this deck. This is the Johnington, in other words. This is in fact the Johnington. The thing being that if and when he runs out of dials, I'm just going to try to straight up nuke him. I've got 30 damage in play. Sorry, 44 damage in play. And a lot of damage in my hand. I could try to straight up nuke him. Or I could... crap. It's interesting. That was my last fractal too, though. I wonder if I could have played that differently tactically. Beat it. Takes like 4 to 5 bolts to win. So really low quanta fire stall. I need to ask myself, did he bring Firestorm? Because if he brought Firestorm, I'm done. If he didn't bring Firestorm... Oh no. Okay, that's it. I lose. Yep, GG. If I crackled Recluse on the last play, yeah, 8 to lose. That's fine. Might have been late, and that's maybe. So yeah. Okay, I feel like His mono death is the most likely thing to come out here. I'll play a mirror. And it is. It's his mono death. If I lose this 4-2, it wouldn't be great, but it would be... Well, that's a better start for me. Alright, so in this match, 40 is the number. 40 is literally the only number that matters in this match. Once a player is below 40 HP, they've probably lost. Until then, it's way too close to call. Assuming he's got Sosaks in here also. Alright. Yeah. He has 2 turns to get a Sosak, basically. And if he doesn't, he loses. So, yeah, if I had that deadly poison, I could have won the game right there, but I didn't. He has to play a duo of Gravity Darkness, Acceleration Voodoo, Dark Dom and Gravity. Some sort of G-Pull Voodoo is actually my worst nightmare, but he wouldn't play G-Pull Voodoo against the possibility of some sort of, like, adrenaline thing from me. Yeah, I really can't think of anything that he's going to play that terrifies me. I have a strong deck left for the final game. Deck that I play legitimately on 30 up unrestricted play sometimes. I'll take this opportunity to talk a little bit about the off-balance rush, which the deck I'm playing is a very fine example of. An off-balance rush is a deck that's not exceptionally well balanced. It's either really quanta heavy or really quanta light, but does so to rush super, super fast if it gets the cards it wants. This is one of the more stable off-balances that's in existence. There's a reason that it's played. That's not supposed to happen. But in any case, I'll keep canceling. I don't think he's left himself. So that just happened. I get one damsel and a second fractal, and it's basically GG. The other interesting option I could have played for this game... Gravity Tower, okay. I need a damsel and I need it fast. Second fractal would also give me something. It would give me about 30 damage. No, I don't want to play second fractal, actually. I want damsel and I want it fast. Charger Nightmare. Oh god. Oh crap. And now we have problems. Now we have lots of problems. Yeah, his Gravity Dark Daemon is going to get me because I didn't get the draw I needed. Oh, I'm going to replay this. I am definitely going to replay this. If I don't win this, I'm going to ask for my replay, because I think that I do have the edge here in this matchup. Yeah, he's denying my draws. So the replay that I'm referring to is that once over the course of the entire group stage, a player can force a replay of a given game with the same decks. I don't believe that his deck beats mine most of the time. Oh, yeah, I don't believe his deck beats mine most of the time. One Quantum Nightmares are a problem, but he can turn to Charge Mare, actually. Yeah. He needs 3 Quana and 2 cards to Charge Mare on that turn. I don't think I'm going to play it. Alright, he played his way out of this with Gravity Darkness. I gotta give him credit for it. That was a good win. That was a very nice win in that last game. Yep. That's all there is to say. Alright. Well, I lost this match. But I'll save it for next match because my 3-win result here was okay. But yeah, I'll take that, because it's more important that I have the replay for the next match if something goes wrong. It's more important there than it is here. So with that, I'll close the video, and you'll have one more match to look forward to. The fact that I got 3 would have done it. But no cigar. So GG's to Regyptic, and if I get even 3 games out of the next match, I'll be in excellent shape. Even with these 3, honestly, I probably advance with 2 in the next match, but that was that.